It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Thursday, January 3rd, 2019.
Whoop, whoop.
And good morning and welcome.
Welcome.
Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman along with Scooter Callis.
Another chilly morning?
Yep, not bad.
Not bad.
No,
It's
not bad.
chilly.
Yeah, wore a lighter jacket today. It doesn't seem that bitter. There's no wind out there. Yeah.
No, and they've taken all the bad weather pretty much out of the
It's in Oklahoma,
forecast,
though.
So,
I saw a little bit of the radar, and it's in Oklahoma, so.
It'll be good. We're doing a lot of traveling, so it's good to have some
good.
nice rain I can deal with. I'm all right with
even
that.
at 36 degrees, we can deal with rain.
There you go. There you go.
Don't bother me in the least. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Down on the Corner program. Hope your Thursday morning is off to a great start. The 3rd of January, this is the day when the routines go back to normal.
Yes.
The morning prayer will focus on the students and the faculty and things in the schools, but school buses are out and running, so be careful. When those flashing lights start, the amber lights start getting on the brakes, folks. And just a quick reminder on the main 5-lane through town from like Kent Chevrolet, from Burger King, Kent Chevrolet, Pizza Hut, the hotels and everything, Restaurant Road down here, no matter where that school bus is at, when those lights are flashing, you have to stop. The only place
is the bypass.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the buses aren't stopping on the bypass. So the bottom line is amber and red flashing lights, the swing arm comes out, the stop sign comes out, stop, stop, stop. We got to keep these kids safe. So anyway. Hey, we're enjoying Brood Awakening Coffee. Hope you're doing the same. Brood Awakening Coffee, as you heard Jacqueline say in the introduction. 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center. Of course, you walk in the lobby there in the main entrance and get just about anything you want from Brood Awakening. They've even got the little oatmeal things that I enjoy every morning, and then they have the cinnamon rolls.
The only thing I've ate from there is the cinnamon rolls. I haven't had anything else.
I got to get some for tomorrow. What do you think?
Okay. I'm not arguing.
I think I'll go out and get some cinnamon rolls.
You happen to get them, I'll eat them. I mean, it doesn't really fit my diet, but okay.
No, well, diet. Listen to him. Diet, yeah. Where's the grounding strap here? A lightning strike.
I'll sacrifice myself for the good of the group. Take one for the team.
Take one. Yeah, we'll go down and get some cinnamon rolls and ruin your diet tomorrow.
There you go.
There you go. I'm not on old time. You got me off on old time now. Brood Awakening Coffee with 3 locations serve you. Balmer Boulevard, Baxter Regional Medical Center, and of course 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. Check them out. All kinds of flavors for the coffees. You name it, they've got it. Mochas, lattes. Really good stuff. Were you drinking water today?
Water.
Back on the water. I drink my water before I get here. I always have a bottle of water before I get here.
I got the cheap stuff.
Yeah, me too. Water's water.
I got the Sam's Choice. I like the bottles that they come in. They're thicker.
Oh, yeah?
You know, a lot of them water bottles, as soon as you grab them, they crinkle and
they get wet.
Yeah, and I hate that.
They fill them all the way top, take the top off, and squeeze them.
These little Sam Choice ones are a little tougher, and I can squeeze them, and it doesn't fall apart on me.
Brood Awakening Coffee. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening Coffee, you're just drinking muddy water. Best coffee in town. Stop by one of the 3 locations, Brood Awakening Coffee. Thanks to Mike and his gang for being our sponsor on Down on the Corner. And, of course, morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, across the state of Arkansas. Roller Funeral Homes. And I can't say enough good things about Brad and Bruce and everybody out here at Roller locally, and Jerry and Chris and the whole gang at Roller Funeral Homes do a great job to serve you with the utmost respect, dignity, and caring spirit. And so when the need arises, Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas. Be sure it's Roller Funeral Homes. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, well, Lord, today is when the students and faculty get back to a regular routine at school. School buses are back on regular routes today, and this is the so-called calm after the storm. You know, the excitement of Christmas coming in December, the students anticipating new toys. Now the newness of the toys is gone as school resumes after a long vacation. So now, Lord, I pray for the safety of every student, every teacher, every administrator of every school. I pray you keep the shooters and gunmen out. Keep the evil out. Protect every school from disaster. Protect the car lines, the buses and drivers, the SROs. Grant our schools peace of mind and a successful return to the classrooms. I pray you bless our schools and protect our schools. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, locally, right here in Mountain Home, Arkansas, on Highway 5 North. Top-notch group of people, Roller Funeral Homes. Thank you so much for sponsoring the morning prayer.
There you go.
How's that trumpet?
I've heard the line, the calm before the storm, but I haven't heard about the calm after the storm.
Mm-hmm.
See, I learned something new today. Because, you just made that up.
I think there's the calm before the storm, just before it gets real calm. Then after after the storm passes, just kind of, like those spring showers that come through, a little thunder and lightning, just kind of quiets down.
And we're moving on. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, gosh.
That was terrible.
Boy, I agree.
I don't have on my little buzzer thing. Da, da, da.
Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home, just like coming home for lunch or breakfast, used to go to Grandma's house. What do you want for breakfast? I think I just have bacon and eggs, and come out, you got bacon and eggs and hash browns and biscuits and gravy.
Oh, that's good
and
stuff.
And coffee
right
and
there.
orange juice and water. And I mean, you come out, you got pancakes.
Don't be doing that to me. I haven't even had breakfast yet.
The size of it. Oh, and then the syrup pours on the pancakes with the butter, and you got the biscuits and the gravy and the sausage, the links, the patties, the bacon.
There you go, Dale. I'm going to be gone for a little bit.
Are you hungry, Scooter?
Nah, I'm all right. I'll make it.
Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home. What's specials today?
For breakfast, we got the 2 pancakes, 2 sausage or bacon, and 2 eggs for $5.88. Can't beat it. And for lunch, we're doing pot roast. Kimmy's doing a pot roast.
Yeah.
It's got comes with potatoes and carrots, and it'll be really good.
Yeah.
It'll be for $6.88. Can't beat it.
Check out the specials today at Old Time Restaurant on the Square Mountain. I love Saturday mornings. Get down there about 6:55 on Saturday. It was just so peaceful Christmas Eve. Just nobody downtown. Real quiet. Christmas decorations are so nice and just peaceful.
And
my grandparents had 8 acres just south of Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and it reminds me of being there. It's just a little farmhouse out in the middle of the country, southeast Missouri, on a little hill, and it's just so peaceful. I enjoy it. Saturday mornings down there. Anyway, Old Time Restaurant on the Square Mountain Home. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. Today we're starting the day at 36 degrees in Mountain Home, 34 at Harrison. It's already 39 in Hardy and Mountain View. Yellville checks in at 37, while Marshall's at 39, Calico Rock at 36. Around the region, St. Louis is a little bit cooler than we are. They're at 25 degrees in St. Louis, but Poplar Bluff is at 37, so 150 miles separates the two cities there. Branson at 32, West Plains at 33, and Watford City is just 2 degrees within us. We've got that big, that warming trend coming that's going to affect people all the way to the Canadian border. So right now in Watford City, North Dakota, it's 34 degrees, so it's about the same it is here. I want to look at this graphic real quick, Scooter, if we can.
Okay.
This is the warm-up extended forecast for the entire country. As you can see, from Houston to St. Louis, Chicago, Omaha, Minneapolis, it's going to be a nice warming trend. And some of these temperatures from Houston could be in the high 60s to low 70s, the same as New Orleans. We can experience mid-60s here, and this goes all the way up into North Dakota. So they could actually get high 40s, low 50s up in that part of the country. So a warming trend coming through for the weekend. They say this weekend is going to be very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
You bet. Bring it on. The current Doppler radar shows showers, of course, coming into Washington and Oregon like they normally do up there. Then we have shower activity and precipitation, I should say, in Oklahoma, Texas, parts of Arkansas, extreme southern Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, parts of Tennessee, the Carolinas, into a little bit of Kentucky, and it moves on east, affecting just south of Washington, D.C. and places like that. We'll take a look at the Little Rock radar stop. We'll click on here and see what it's picking up. A little bit just around Texarkana towards Mena. Not a lot of shower activity there or precip there. It's affecting I-30 down around the Texas state line. And a little bit just to the west-southwest of El Dorado, Arkansas. That may not be hitting the ground. Other than that, I'm going to say basically all the highways in Arkansas are clear. 62, 412 east and west. Then we got 65 north-south, Little Rock, Branson. 67, 167, Batesville, Poplar Bluff, in good shape there. Your interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555 in Arkansas look like they're in good shape, with the exception a little bit down around Texarkana. That may not be affecting much more than 15 to 20 miles of I-30 once you get close to the Texas state line. Yeah, let's see. We'll back out of this. We'll take a look at St. Louis. Going to be nothing in Missouri, I don't believe. Yeah, a little bit showing up around just outside of St. Louis. That's going to be around Eureka, possibly Cuba, Missouri, Pacific areas like that, around Six Flags over Mid-America. I-44 coming in from Rolla to St. Louis, and you see Columbia, Missouri. East on 70 to St. Louis. There's a little bit north of I-70 right there. And we got I-70 coming into St. Louis, and it goes over to Vandalia and Effingham, Illinois. It's in good shape there. A little bit just along the Mississippi River around Cahokia, Illinois. Interstate 64 east from East St. Louis, Illinois to Mount Vernon in good shape. You see Carbondale, Cape Girardeau, Missouri, I-55, I-24, and Interstate 57 in southeast Missouri and the southern portions of Illinois. Going into southwest Missouri, we'll probably pick up some of that in Oklahoma. You can see just east of Tulsa on I-44 towards the Arkansas state line, a little bit over in there. Let me go over, and they said there's some freezing precepts, so let me hit this. I'm going to hit the OK City.
It looked like that was freezing. That was popping up a little bit.
They said there was some freezing rain over there earlier, but right now this is showing mainly just rain right now. This is the Norman, Oklahoma radar, and there's a lot of activity in Oklahoma. Now, I'm not sure if this is moving east or northeast or how it's moving, but...
put it in motion. See if you can tell.
Let's see. That's moving north.
North, yep.
So they'll move up into Kansas. So from McAllister, Ponca City, up to Arkansas City, Coffeyville, places like that. That's what's going on in Oklahoma. Had a friend over there in just south of Oklahoma City said they had some sleet going on last night. So anyway, let's see. Southwest Missouri again. We've got it there. I-44 Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon. I-70 Kansas City towards Columbia. Nothing going on up there. And see what that forecast says, shall we?
You bet.
Let me refresh this to make sure we are up to date. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning. Oh, he's in one of them moods.
Today, a 20% chance of showers later in the afternoon. Tonight, 70% chance of rain likely. Friday morning, 40%. Friday night, clear. Then here we go. Today, a high of 43. That's not bad. Tonight, a low of 34. It's above freezing. Tomorrow, chance of rain at 51 degrees, and Friday night, clear and 34. Then here we go. Saturday, sunny, a high of 61 degrees. Maybe I have time to clean all the junk out of my vehicle. It's dirty. 61 degrees on Saturday, 39 Saturday night, 62 on Sunday. Then Sunday night, a 20% chance of showers with a low of 49. And then Monday, we have showers at 40% chance there at 61 degrees. And then Tuesday, a high near 56. Wednesday, a high near 54. So we've got a pretty warm pattern set up for.
That'll work. I'll take it.
Pretty nice. The drought monitors have not been updated yet. They'll be updated within the hour, I hope. Northwest Arkansas showing the same thing as Missouri, Northwest Arkansas, Southwest Missouri with that little bit of dry activity. Missouri traveler information. All highways in Missouri are clear. You can go to MoDOT and bring that up. It'll check all the highways. The green indicates no issues there. There are some construction areas. There is a little bit of some water on some of the roads where they're wet. Other than that, no problems in Missouri. iDrive Arkansas, we'll pull that up. Looks like everything is in good shape. With iDrive Arkansas, you can check your border states. Go to iDrive Arkansas. If you're going to any of the border states across state line, then you can check those out as well. All right? What do you think?
There you go.
Yep. Morning weather is brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Check them out. They're on the Square. I'm open Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday until 11. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Affordable housing. And they bring you the community calendar. I only got one thing today. For today, from 6 to 8 p.m., Compassionate Friends of Twin Lakes area meeting. Compassionate Friends will meet for their monthly support group from 6 to 8 at the Hospice of the Ozarks office on 701 Burnett Drive. Refreshments will be served. Anyone who has experienced the death of the child, sibling, grandchild is encouraged to attend. And that's all I've got.
The Mountain Home Flyers Youth Wrestling Club will be headed to Russellville on Saturday to wrestle in a big tournament down there. And then there's a handful of them also traveling Sunday up to Ozark, Missouri.
They're traveling Sunday?
Yep,
Sunday
to do it's a novice tournament, so it'll be some of our newer wrestlers going to be traveling up there. The high school wrestling team, we leave tomorrow, travel to Conway, and wrestle all day Saturday in Conway.
Good. Community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 7412883. Today's guest is our Sheriff John Montgomery, who was sworn in, I believe, yesterday for another term. We support our sheriff and his office, and we're looking forward to visiting with him. So we're going to take a quick break, and the sheriff will join us momentarily. So stick around, be right back.
The best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area? Then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with a pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Backo Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Backo Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
Life is too short to wear boring clothes. Welcome to Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique, where we carry the latest trends and fashions and accessories at prices anyone can enjoy. Feel beautiful while looking fabulous with a large range of fashions that fits anyone's sense of style. You're sure to discover something unique and new at every visit. Shabby to Chic also features 12 professional stylists, aesthetics by Amy J, a nail technician, and 4 tanning beds. Excite your style at Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique in Mountain Home.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed?
And we're back, and we want to go. Huh?
No.
What?
What?
Go one of them days.
I told you he's in one of them moods, I can tell you.
Swap chairs with me. Good morning,
Sheriff.
You hear that?
Yeah, Charles. See, I've already got him flustered, and we haven't even been on the air 10 seconds yet.
I need some more coffee.
Way to go.
Funny.
We were doing a live football game. Of course, Bob Rechtenwald was down there doing the announcing, and they can. I've got headphones. I'm on the camera, and they can hear anything I'm saying, but I can't hear them. And so they're going through, and he starts announcing. So I start announcing everything he said, but 5 seconds later, so in his head, all he's hearing me is later ahead of him so messed up.
Well, congratulations on another term.
Thank you, sir.
We've got a picture here I want to bring up. This is Sheriff John Montgomery being sworn in by the newly sworn-in judge, Andrew Bailey. Yeah, I guess that was his very first time to swear somebody in?
I believe that's correct, and we were very honored that he agreed to do that for myself and my deputies and staff. And again, cool. It's very humbling. It's hard to believe, and I know the Baxter Bulletin did a story on it. It was in today's paper, and Scott did a very nice job on that article. But he was asking me, and I said about, it's been 14 years. I'm starting year 15, and it really doesn't seem like it. Really? I don't know if that's good or bad, but I mean, it really doesn't. It's
so if you were going to write a book on your experiences of sheriff, would it be a serious book or would it be a funny book?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I can't believe I'm seeing some of this stuff, or, oh my goodness, this is tragic,
Yes.
Yeah. What's some of the funniest?
Well, that answered that. All right.
Well, so we got how many more minutes?
Moving on.
Are those commercials ready?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's I think back, my chief deputies, Captain Jeff Lewis, and we were actually started our law enforcement career the same day. We were sworn in March 1st, 1988.
Oh my goodness.
And so I, kind of wished I had written down all of the funny things that's happened during that 30-year career. And I mean, sometimes, and of course, that's the problem with when you get a bunch of law enforcement guys and gals together. I mean, they tell war stories, and it's you bring up funny stuff that's happened. And
I think, though, probably the saddest day I think that I can remember would be the day that we lost Jim Sell.
That was a tough day.
Yeah. And you guys had that wrapped up in 17 minutes.
It was very ironic the way that happened, and certainly I would say some divine intervention, but there was just a lot of oddities. So, and for the listeners, this happened in 2006.
That long ago.
And so Gassville Officer Jim Sell made a traffic stop. And while we don't know exactly why he stopped, we know he had been running radar, so we're only going to assume, I think at that point. He did have a dash cam on his car. We were able to see the event, afterwards. But basically walked up to the car and asked for the driver's license, and then the driver shot him. So a couple things that's just tough, I guess, to imagine. So as it turns out, the guy and his girlfriend was in the car with him, was from Massachusetts, and he had walked into a bar up there with a hatchet and started hitting people with a hatchet. And when some of the patrons tackled him, he pulled a pistol out of his pocket and started shooting and shot several people, and then ran out the door and got away. And he drove down, I think it was Virginia, picked up his girlfriend, and then why he came through Baxter County, nobody knows. So a couple of things when you think about the mindset of him. So he's just shot an officer, and so you see on the dash cam that he speeds away, but then he circles back around, goes out of sight, comes back up, gets out of his car, and takes his driver's license out of the officer's hand. Now think about the thought process. Okay, so he grabs that, and he takes off, and he heads back towards Mountain Home. Now, a couple things. One, if that had been what you would think the average person, how do you think they would have left driving towards Mountain Home? They'd have been driving ridiculously fast, right? Yep. As it turns out, there was an eyewitness at the hotel there in Gassville who she did an awesome job, told what happened when she called 911, and gave a good description of the vehicle. And so, as ironic as it was, my wife and I are in her car. We met him. Now, we didn't know we met him at that particular moment. But when we met him, if you think about it, if he had been driving ridiculously fast,
it would have caught your eye.
I'd have caught my eye, okay? Even because that's just what you do. So nothing caught my eye whatsoever. And we had to have met him because within a minute, and I didn't have a radio with me that day, but within a minute, my phone rings and it's telling me that the officer shot. I'm not even a half a mile away from Gassville because we're heading that way. I pull into the parking lot about the same time as I can hear sirens coming, and it was reasonably obvious that, you know, the officer was deceased. And so within just another 2 to 3 minutes, the pursuit is on. So the man, and when we talked to the deputy, who's since passed away, but that deputy said when he met the car was not speeding. He just recognized the car and turned around to go get a better look and a license plate number to see if that was indeed the car. And when he made the U-turn on Highway 62 that's when the guy took off. And of course down through 201 South and ultimately North Fork where the shootout happened. But a couple things here, again, all of that seems somewhat ironic, all the things that happened. But when you look at the officers that were actually involved in the apprehension, only one was actually working and the other 3 were off duty that went and got in their car and went to assist.
Was Arkansas State Police notified?
They were.
ASP?
But the trooper that helped, so you got 1 state police, 2 sheriff's deputies that were not even working, that got in their car because they heard the call and went. And one of course, obviously the pursuing officer was working. Mm-hmm. So out of the 4 officers, 3 of the 4 were not even on duty. That's the dedication of law enforcement we have in Baxter County.
Yeah.
And ultimately it ended, well, while it was tragic, I mean, no other officer got hurt other than...
and that's been what'd you say, 06?
06.
Can you believe that? Wow. So emotionally and psychologically, how do your people handle something that tragic?
Well, it's tough.
I mean, to lose an officer, you got to be a friend.
Well, it's tough because, I mean, one, he had retired from, I think it was Blytheville. Jim Sell had spent a career out there. So it's tough not only for the officers but their families because they realize that could have easily been them made that traffic stop. And the families realized that could have been their loved one that had made that traffic stop. And so that's what the officers face every day. And again, it's just the dedication that the staff have is just...
So the psychology of the shooter, why would he do something like that?
Well,
that's the part I don't understand.
But why did he go? Because he didn't want to get caught. I mean, because again, he had gone into a bar he had, up in Massachusetts, and so he's got to assume that everybody's looking for him.
But assault with a deadly weapon wouldn't bring as much sentence as murder 1 or murder 3.
Doesn't matter. I got to get away. You think about all of not just that particular instance. I mean, why do people run? I got to get away. And so most times, they get caught. The old saying is you can't run out and run the radio. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that occasionally somebody doesn't get away temporarily, but the vast majority of the time, they are going to get caught very soon.
Yeah. Wow. I don't see how you do it. Wow. With that, let's take a break. 7:29 visit with Baxter County Sheriff John Montgomery, who's now in which term is this?
Number 8.
Number 8. All right. We'll be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Why would I recommend Hospice the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need dirt. $7:32. Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Are you finished?
Well, it's 7:32 here on this Thursday morning.
Yep.
And it's cloudy, but it's supposed to get more sunshine today. We welcome you to our program.
I'm just going to put the camera on him.
Keep going, he's doing good. You did radio in days gone by, didn't you?
No, I DJ'd. I used to play music and stuff, and I cut several commercials, and occasionally would have people ask me to cut a commercial for their business or whatever. But
how long ago was that?
We got to keep that in mind.
Was that back in the KTLO AM days? You on AM?
No, I see. Well, yes. Gosh dang, mid-'80s, early mid-'80s.
Yeah.
I used to DJ, was in the late 70s, early 80s. So,
yeah. But
traveling around, and I used to have of course, that again, think of technology back in the late 70s. But you know, the lights and the mirror balls, and back during the disco era. And there's probably none of the listeners know, but there's a small community called Thomasville, Missouri. And if you know where Thayer, Missouri is, and then you go north to Alton, Missouri,
I've been there.
And then you go north from Alton is a little community called Thomasville.
Okay.
It's right on the 11-Point River. And so, of course, years ago, that used to be a community, had a high school. In fact, my mother went to high school there.
Really?
And so, long since gone, but they had the old gymnasium was a community center, and so I used to rent that community center out and advertise and play dance, have a dance, you know, where you would pay to come, and did that many times.
Yep. Fun days.
You learn so much in this show.
Let's talk about the website and December 31st to January 1.
You know, I actually and I hate to tell you, I forgot to look. I was intended on looking at the statistics, which I can't get to them from here, but I was going to look at the statistics just to see how many visits we had last year, but also how many we had January 1st. Because that is typically one of the biggest days of the year because everybody wants to log on and see who got stupid the night before.
I told Scooter, I said, I actually had mixed drinks on December 31st. He says, you did? And I said, yeah, but I ran out of chocolate powder. I never was much. I mean, to each their own. Fine. You want to have a party, have some fun, whatever you want to do. But,
Well, there were actually only 2 DWIs.
Really?
And so, I mean, that's
a good thing.
I'm going to tell you a quick war story.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a cop, and that's what we do. But back in the day, people were Turley was not as smart as they are now, and we would bring in extra folks, and on New Year's Eve, typically lots of people were stupid and they drove intoxicated. So the problem, of course, is you only have so many officers, and it takes so much time to process. So it's not like, if you got 2, maybe 3 arrests in a night, I mean, you were really pushing it because you only have a short window. So one night we had brought on extra folks. This is back when I worked for the city, and we looked. I mean, you could hear lots of traffic stops, but it got to be about 2 in the morning, 3, whatever it was, 2 or 3 in the morning. Not a single arrest.
No.
Not from the city, not from the state, not from the county, nothing. And so at that time, the police department was over on 9th Street, across from Sheds over there on that corner. Yeah. And another city officer and I, everybody had gone home because the peak was over, and it was just he and I. And we were standing out front, and he was smoking a cigarette, and we were sitting there talking, and it was like, I cannot believe we've gone the whole New Year's Eve. There's not been a single arrest, nothing. And while we're standing there talking, a van came up the street, drove over the curb, through the landscaping, and stopped in our parking lot. A female gets out of the driver's door, staggers across.
Saved you a lot of work.
Walked up to us, and in a very slurred speech says, I need you to arrest my husband. He's on probation and is not supposed to be drinking, and he's drunk in that van. Now, she was highly intoxicated, and so I then take her, obviously, inside. She's under arrest, do his field sobriety, and while I'm processing her, okay, the next thing I hear is the other officer, I can hear him screaming. So he had gone to check on this guy who was passed out in the vehicle, and he walked back inside to run some numbers. The guy woke up and tried to drive off.
Oh, my gosh.
We got 2 DWI arrests.
In the parking lot.
In the parking
lot. Didn't even have to go.
That could only happen to John Montgomery.
Unreal.
Oh, my goodness. That goes in the funny section of the book. That's crazy. I wanted to ask you, there's been a lot of talk about this Act 746, concealed carry, open carry, whatever it is. Let's say my record is clean and I've got concealed carry, and there's an incident where I either have to pull my concealed weapon to protect somebody else until the police get there. How should that be staged? Let's say that there's a potential...
Well, we would hope you wouldn't stage it.
Well, I mean, what you want to do, let's say that the pistol was not fired, but the police don't know who's the shooter, who's the robber, and who's the good and bad guys. Would you lay the gun down when the police arrive? How's that handled?
Well,
if that situation were to rise with something, I don't carry.
From a personal experience, I can tell you if a shooting has taken place and you're running towards me with a gun in your hand,
you're going to get shot.
Well, there's a high probability, and so you seriously should throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm a good guy or whatever, because now just because you tell me that doesn't necessarily I'm going to believe you. Right. But if you're going to hurt me, it's going to have to be with your hands. And so at that point, putting your hands up and then letting me tell you at that point what to do.
Right.
because I'm going to just because you say I'm a good guy. If I don't know you, that's not necessarily don't know that.
So there was an instance on the news. I don't know if it was Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, but there was a potential robbery that was stopped because a citizen with a concealed carry followed the law, held him at bay until police arrived. But then once police arrived, I would think if once the police have their weapons drawn and the suspect,
right,
then the citizen should just lay the gun down?
Well, but Dale, there's no way to answer that because every circumstance, every situation, every scenario is different. So the main thing is just to follow what the officers are telling you to do and don't move. I mean, you follow their instructions. I mean, the officers' instructions.
Have you ever ran across an incident like that yet with these laws the way they are with the concealed carry?
No, can't say that I have. And it goes back to open carry or not, and this is, I will tell you, I will probably step on a few toes, but while it is, according to the Attorney General and others who think that Arkansas allows open carry, and that's fine, but I can't figure out why you'd want to. If you're not on your property and obviously if you're on your property and you're working around your farm or whatever, but just because I can doesn't mean I should.
Yeah, I know.
So why, and I've had people say, well, I get to. You can't stop me, so why I should, excuse me, exercise my right to be able to. Well, okay, you got the right, but why do you want to walk through Walmart with that open carry? Okay, because you're just drawing attention to yourself. You're actually, in my opinion, doing more harm.
Yeah, I agree.
Due to the gun control people, because that's one of the arguments they're gonna obviously make. Concealed carry, I'm all for, and the reason is because, again, I think the citizens, if they want to, should have the right to protect themselves, and so if they do that, that's great. But if it's concealed, the vast majority of the public don't know it. It's if you think about it, it's kind of like if you walked into a store, you don't know how many people in that store have guns. There could be none or there could be 20. Well, the bad guy doesn't know that either. The other thing is if the bad guy's there and all of a sudden you walk in and you've got a gun slapped to your hip, and I have intentions, now granted, there's no question that could deter me, if I'm the bad guy, I don't want to do this. But if the bad guy's intent, who gets shot first? It's going to be the guy that he knows is the threat. So, in my opinion, you're better off carrying it concealed, not letting people know that you've got it, and you don't ever even let anybody know you got it unless something happens where you have to take action. That's my opinion.
I know a while back when they had that march they did where a bunch of them carry open concealed gun and did a march thing through. And a number of them came into the restaurant afterwards. And the problem is
that was the stopping point.
Yeah. And not by our decision, trust me, but it ended up being a stopping point. A number of them came in. And the problem I had was how up front they wanted everybody to know that they were doing it, and they wanted to the point where people were offended and left. I'm just not going to be here at the rest. I don't need, you got guys, showing off their guns and throwing them up on the table where they're eating and blah blah blah, and it's just like,
why?
I mean, I don't.
And the reason is because I can.
Yeah.
And I go back to what I said, but just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
I agree with that, and I didn't get the idea of why, because they did it just because they can. I'm like, all right, whoop-de-doo. I mean, why are you offending other people to try to prove a point? I don't know. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I remember that day. Talk real quick before we take a break. Jail expansion. Here's another picture.
Gosh, that looks like the live webcam from our website of the new jail expansion. What is it, Dale?
It looks like a live web shot of the jail expansion. Sure.
Geez, maybe that's why it looks like it. You can see they've been moving dirt. Right now, the big focus is on water, sewer, drainage.
Yeah.
Because those lines, I think, a sewer main and a water main both had to be moved.
Yeah, that was when we were here in December. You were talking about that, and I think this is over here in this portion of the picture here where they had to do some relocation on where the little cursor is. That right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me to move that camera over ever so slightly when I go back to work?
Which way would you go?
Well, I'd go to the right just a tiny bit to gain a little bit, just a little bit more to the right side of that picture. Wouldn't need much because I don't want to lose. Right. Let me see your.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to show you. This is for the folks out here. You can see all these little pink flags.
Yeah. What's the flags? Is that just the walls?
No, they're having to do. Oops, sorry. They're having to do. Like pylons, if you will, to support the structure.
Oh yeah.
The dirt, soil, etc., is not good enough to support that structure. So they're doing that. They call them piers that they have to go in, and so that's what the surveyors have been out here the last few days, and they're setting those up, and then very shortly that's when they'll come start putting those piers in.
Mm-hmm.
So about where my cursor is now.
Right.
About somewhere right in there will be the new edge of the building. In fact, you can see those pink here, and that's, if you follow that, that's basically the outline of the building. If you can see right through there.
Uh-huh.
This part right up front here will be the new exercise. We call it an exercise yard, and that's just because that's what they call it. We don't supply any kind of exercise equipment. There's no weights or any machines like that. It's just a concrete area with concrete block walls, and you can go out and run around and jump up and down and whatever you want to do.
Huh. It's just single level or 2 stories?
No, it's 2 stories.
2 stories.
And it will tie into this building. In this area up here is our current dispatch and what we call control tower. And
which we're looking northeast right here? Or straight north?
No, that'd be probably well, I'm going to say straight north. It's slightly off, but and so north is kind of right through here.
Okay.
The control tower, this area right here is that's as big as we could really go and still utilize the same kitchen, the same control tower, etc. Yeah. Had we gone bigger, the cost would have gone way up.
Yeah. Wow.
And the cool part about it is the 1 cent sales tax is over. It's done. We've collected the money. We'll finish off the construction cost with about the first 6 months of the quarter-cent collection, which went into effect January 1, and we will open, we hope, in October.
Yep.
And so...
well, Channel 3 was down, what, on 31st of the 1st, talked to you? Caitlin was here?
Actually,
was that a film?
Actually, it's a film.
Was it? Okay.
Because I didn't even know it was on, and I had someone say, "Hey, I saw you on TV this morning."
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah.
So she actually contacted me New Year's Day, asked a few questions, and then I guess they ran an old clip.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. All right, 7:48. Need to take a quick break. More with the sheriff right after this. Stick around. When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
The Party Spot venue and DJ service. Contact Tammy Reynolds for your next holiday or special event.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
$7.50 on this Thursday, January 3rd. How's that?
Sounded fine to me.
I don't know. I don't know. You're the announcer. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You're the host. Go ahead.
Let's talk school safety. SRO school safety. January 3rd, school's back in. School buses, car lines, smoking in the car. No cell phone use.
You cannot use your cell phone for any reason in a school zone or car line. You can't smoke in the car line. You cannot smoke with a vehicle with a child that's 14 or under. Period.
That's the law.
That's the law.
And if you get caught, the smoking. Let's talk about the smoking issue.
Well, it's of course a citation, and you'll have to either pay the citation or appear in court. I mean,
that's just just smoking. Oh, how many cars have I been in? You get in, the smoke reeks in those cars, and to have a child in there. School safety. We've got a very strong SRO program. I think you've got, 2 officers involved? Or
we have 3. We have one in Mountain Home, one in Cotter, and one in Norfolk. And then, of course, Mountain Home City Police has the other schools. So there's an SRO in all of the school buildings, and which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I noticed back over one. I'm not going to name the building, but there's a city police car that sits out in front of one of the schools. Is that a good deterrent?
I think it is a deterrent without question, because it goes back to them not knowing where, who's there. And if you go back and look at the school shootings and across the country, and certainly they're tragic, and I believe this, I don't know this to be an actual fact, but the information I have is if you look at all the school shootings that's happened over the last 10 years, I believe there's only been 1 or 2 that were involved where there was an actual SRO on campus. Now, so, you can say, well, that didn't mean anything, but I think it does, and I think it's certainly a deterrent. And, there are schools in the area, and I'll leave it at that, where certain staff members are armed now. Now, they've gone through some extensive training on top of just... Now,
hear that word extensive.
Yeah, on top of just, concealed carry. When you look at that, I think it's a good thing myself, because the whole idea is to protect the kids, and so if they can do something to protect the kids or hold off, slow down, whatever, until law enforcement can get there, I think it's a good thing. Now, does that mean that that's the answer? No. Not necessarily. Every school is different, and I think it should be strictly left up to them and how they want to do it. But for some schools, and I'm going to say across the state,
yes,
I think that's a good, viable option.
Now, we've talked about this far back well into the radio days. I'm driving along, let's say I'm on a county road, speed limit's 35, I glance down, I'm doing 38, 39 miles an hour, and I see a police car. I don't care if it's sheriff, city, state, I slow down. What if some of those cars that are now beyond repair, that they could barely get from here to the corner of the room, what if they were parked at various places at the school?
And Dale,
would that not be a deterrent?
I don't think so.
Really?
I know you're going to bring up Hardy, but I can tell you that again,
that old car in Hardy, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It is a decision that's been brought up to me numerous times. I can tell you that my management team and I have discussed it, and we do not think that's a viable option for Baxter County.
Really?
Now,
you may not. Just one of those old cars.
Well, and there's listeners that may not agree with that, but I just don't think it's a viable option here. And there's several reasons why I don't think so. But
I was just wondering, because I thought, well, sometimes you get those old cars, you might get $200, $300, $400, maybe $1,000. What if somebody were to buy a police car and just park it?
They can't buy it if it's striped.
Oh, really?
It's against the law. The striping has to be removed. Spotlight has to be removed.
Oh, okay.
We can't sell it otherwise.
Okay. So that striping is licensed then.
Well, and you cannot, if you take a car, and let's say you said, I think I want to stripe this thing up. No, that's actually a felony if you make your car to where the average citizen would think it's a police car. Now, there's exceptions for vintage cars and parades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, it's a felony.
So like the Andy Griffith car that was down on 201 South.
That's a vintage type car used for parades, etc. But if you operate that car, and actually I will tell you that piece of legislation was suggested by us, sponsored by Senator Missy Irvin, and was signed into law, but it's a felony.
Wow.
And there's a reason for that, because you don't want to see a car that looks like a police car and then in a little small print has, this is a whatever. I mean, to the average citizen who sees that car, if they think it's a police car.
You've also had the guys put the little blue lights or red lights in there, and then they wind up raping the people, stuff like that. So
It's against the law.
How can we help you, citizens to the sheriff and your employees? How can we help you?
Well, I think if I started, let's say on the top end, if you win the lottery, I said I'd start at the top.
There you go.
You win the lottery.
Okay, so I just won $255 million on January 1, right? How much you need?
Well, here's the problem with county government and government in general. You give me the money and I don't spend it, it goes back to the county. So what I would suggest you do is, if you won the $200 million, give us whatever.
Go to the foundation?
The Sheriff's Foundation, couple million, whatever, and leave it there, and let us use the interest off of that to provide services for the Sheriff's Office. More in the middle range, we have people who are nice enough to make a donation, maybe of, 100, 500, 1,000. Sometimes they want it specifically for a purpose. Sometimes they just say, hey, use it for whatever. If you go down, even drop down a little farther than that, little things like a group of ladies brought some quilts in and stuffed animals yesterday, and I met with them who they give it to us to give to kids, that may not have anything. The cookies, the candy that gets dropped off, the thank you cards, when an officer does something nice and you send a thank you card, those mean so much.
Tell you a quick story. My son was coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. Left Atlanta, Georgia, Christmas Eve, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. He drove Atlanta, Birmingham, Tupelo, Memphis, Jonesboro. Gets into Baxter County, and he gets pulled over. And the policeman, it was so funny. He gives him a candy cane and a warning and says, in the spirit of Christmas, dude, thank you. Because Caleb was so tired. I mean, that's a long 600 miles in the last 20 miles of, well, what did I tell you? When you get into Arkansas, you've got to watch, because we're a little bit slower than the other states, because it's all 70 miles an hour across all those other states, even on 555 at Jonesboro. And he says, and the policeman, he says, in the spirit of Christmas, so Caleb took the warning ticket and the little candy cane and taped it and hung it on the Christmas tree.
So I guess the last thing, we have a famous cat. It's the office cat, Cornbread. If you Google Cornbread, the cat, you will find numerous stories.
You keep talking.
But we don't use tax dollars to support, so the staff usually chips out of their pockets. So if you have anything else that you want to do something small, you can make a donation for Cornbread.
There it is, right there. There's the sheriff. Let's pull this up. Well, Fizzle, pull that down. Well, where'd it go? Don't you love that? Cornbread the cat. There it is. Let's pull that picture.
I was going to say, I thought that was OE for a moment. Operator error.
Oh, it is. Cornbread the cat right there. That's cool. Sitting there helping you do your work.
Yep. Here you go, about 30 seconds.
Final thoughts, Sheriff. Congratulations on another term, and You got our full support.
Just again, humbled, honored. I'm just very blessed. I've got a great team that truly care about this community, and we appreciate the community supporting us. Don't forget, you can leave anonymous tips on our website or on the mobile app. Just submit a crime tip, and we love getting those because that helps us keep this area safe.
With that, have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.